It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe. And tonight, Kyle Rittenhouse and the final scene of Easy Rider. I first saw the great 1969 Palme d'Or winning hippie film Easy Rider back when I was in college. Directed by a young Dennis Hopper, starring him, Peter Fonda, and Jack Nicholson, Easy Rider is a quirky, picaresque motorcycle ride across the countryside from Los Angeles to New Orleans. Along the way, you see America from the 1960s counterculture point of view, and it's totally awesome. Great music, stunning visuals, and big doses of cinema verite, all while articulating hippie philosophy probably about as well as it can be articulated. But you know, I didn't really like the ending. Our hippie protagonists encounter white power hatred on and off throughout the film, but the final scene, when Alabama racist redneck monsters blow them away with a shotgun randomly and senselessly, I was like, this is too far over the top. We spend an hour and a half building up an awesome 1960s vision, and then finally, in just a few minutes, white supremacists destroy that vision. The end. Easy Rider's final assertion. Too pat, I thought. Taking heavy-handed shortcuts and smacking you in the face. I mean, it didn't ruin the movie for me, but I thought it was a flaw in an otherwise perfect gem. Out of the blue, kill the central protagonists and that's all. Very unsatisfying. But that was back when I was in college. Now, in light of recent events, I think it's a perfect ending, brutally and accurately depicting real American culture. You may recall the case of Kyle Rittenhouse back in the news because he's just about to go to trial for murdering two protesters and maiming another at a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. Rittenhouse, then 17, drove miles and miles from Illinois with his assault rifle in order to patrol the protest alongside the fascist white hate group, the Proud Boys. Way I see it, Rittenhouse brought a gun all that way in case some shit started, but of course, bringing and displaying a gun is in itself starting shit. So when shit started, his shit, he did what he obviously came to do, kill some hippies in cold blood. That's frightening enough. One guy killing for his beliefs, or rather killing for his hate. But it gets much worse. The judge in his case made some shocking rulings last week. Prosecutors cannot refer to the victims as victims. Now, apparently this is a long-standing policy for this judge, but another ruling puts that policy into a clearer light. While the judge has determined that there are no victims here, no victims in this case, there may very well be some looters and rioters instead. That is, the defense, if it can offer evidence, whatever that's supposed to mean, is free to refer to the victims as rioters and looters. Now, given that one victim was simply a bystander who threw a plastic bag at Rittenhouse, another who tried to de-escalate the situation, and the third who tried to disarm him, it really does look like the judge is totally sympathetic toward the notion of killing hippies. The fix is in. But it gets even worse. Consider how the Kenosha police treated Rittenhouse with kid gloves. Consider how he's out on bond. Now, Consider how Black Lives Matter is routinely described by conservatives as being a terrorist organization. Consider how what you do with a terrorist is kill him. Consider January 6th. Consider how polls are showing that 30% of conservatives register straight up approval of political violence. Oh, but 30% who approve must mean that there are 70% who don't approve, right? Surely we can count on that 70% to keep a lid on the violence, right? Well, maybe. But maybe what it really means is that there are 70% who won't admit it, 70% who are sympathetic. You know, like when cops kill black people. Regrettable, but he was probably high on marijuana. He should not have shown disrespect to that cop, shouldn't have been on the street. I believe that there are lots of conservatives who don't approve but are sympathetic. I believe conservatives want hippies dead. And by hippies, I mean the white left, black people, trans people, gay people, all people of color, intellectuals, and even clueless establishment liberals. You know, just like back in the 60s. Just like at the end of Easy Rider, now a flawless gem of a film. My understanding of this country becomes ever more disturbing. I'm Ron Reeder, and this has been Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reeder, again next week for another episode of Ron Reeder Digs the Universe.